Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back, or welcome here if you're new or not new here. Girl, what's up? Thanks for coming back. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for staying true to this. You know, I love that you came back and supported me. Thank you, girl. My name is Tynisha. Today we are going to be talking about self-esteem and confidence, which is so important for all of us. Before we get into the video, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my channel. So I am 29. I'm a Maryland-based vlogger. I typically do a lot of lifestyle content, but I'm slowly kind of trickling into motivational, self-care, wellness content. And I would love for you to be a part of my family over here, okay? So before we get into the tips and tricks for self-esteem and confidence, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and definitely follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And let's get into the video. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking a lot about self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, and kind of how we positively talk to ourselves. I actually, just so that you know this, I am not a professional. I'm just telling you my experiences and how they've helped me. So if you want to learn more, keep watching. I don't know about you, but you know, it's a little nightcap or whatever. So I got me some wine. So if you want to pour some, sis, join me. Let's pour up. It's actually Wednesday, right? So I'm like, maybe this can be a little series of Wind Down Wednesday. I don't know. Let me know down below what y'all think. So I'm gonna have me a glass of wine, red wine, okay? I may have a few glasses depending on the vibe, but yeah. All right, keep in mind, I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a licensed clinician. I am just someone who very much focuses on feelings, emotional health, and making sure that I heal through my experiences, and that is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you, my experiences. So keep in mind that these things I have come to conclusions with, awareness and things like that. But let's be clear here, everyone has insecurities. All of us, like, it's human for us to have an insecurity, multiple ones. However, it's how you carry it. Now, I personally have been someone who has struggled with being a little bit more insecure and being loud about it. However, I'm 29. And I'm tired of that. You know, I have lived a very long life, 29 years, and I quite frankly do not want to be insecure anymore. So, you know, for the last few months, I feel like I have been the most secure in myself as I have ever been, and I'm 29. So I start with this tip in conversation because it is very important to realize this. So when you are out in the world, you might see someone else who may appear to be super confident, very sure of themselves, very secure, very, you know, not afraid of what people may say or think. However, I'm sure that they have something that's deep down and near to their heart that they actually don't want people to know about them. And it's something that could definitely, you know, make them appear less confident. So it's just a realization that when you put it in that perspective, you'll remind yourself, like, yes, I have shit with me. I have issues that I may have that may be portrayed to other people, that may be something that I'm working through, but just wanted to remind you that everyone has them. You're not alone. You're not the only person in the world who are struggling or who may be having a hard time trying to figure out how to deal with your insecurity. So it's first good to know that everyone has them. So when you kind of realize that and put that in perspective, it helps you be able to kind of work through those things specifically for you. But one important thing that I did want to mention is that just because you have insecurities does not mean that you need to broadcast them. You do not have to put them on Front Street for everybody to know what those insecurities are. You do not have to out them. You do not have to scream them, because trust and believe, those things may or may not come across to the people that you're talking to. I know for me, specifically for me, I tend to be so awkward, and I may announce what I'm thinking, and the person that I'm talking to would never think that, and I just made kind of like a fool of myself in a way, because I've revealed something to someone that didn't even come across that way in my demeanor. So just because you are insecure, or you having, you know, a moment of, you know, lack of clarity around something, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly human. Continue to work through them. Remember that everyone has them. And secondly, don't broadcast them for everyone. Those are for you to know and work through, but not for the whole world to have. Second thing is, it's okay to have motivational people. It's okay to have inspiration. It's okay to have people that you admire, or people that you kind of look up to as a mentor in a way. But it's not okay to idolize people in an unhealthy capacity, meaning like you are comparing yourself in a way that you don't even realize it subconsciously. Your mind is, you're idolizing someone to the point where you're making yourself feel farther and farther away. So what I mean by that is, if you have someone who appears to be what you want to be for yourself, or someone who you just think has it all together, if you listen to number 1, we know that everyone has their own thing and things going on with them, but it's important to not idolize people. We can have them as goals or just aspirations and things that we're working towards for ourselves, but those are just people. Like, we're all just human beings, just doing the best that we can. So don't put anyone on a higher pedestal than yourself. Just remind yourself, like, okay, yeah, they are where I want to be, but they should not be a specific idol for you. They should be someone who you aspire to be more like. But when you do that, you compare yourself in a way, and that makes you feel less good about yourself. So you might compare yourself like, oh, they're at this point in life, or they're doing this and I'm not there and I want to be like them, which is 100% great. You can definitely have them as someone who motivates you and someone who you want to look up to, but don't allow that admiration or admiration for that person to become so strong that you start to compare yourself, because we all know that comparison is truly the thief of joy. When you start comparing yourself to other people, whether they're a true motivation for you or otherwise, regardless of what scale they're on or where you are, you will begin to compare yourself. They're here, you're here, and all you can continue to do is look down at yourself and think that you're not where you should be. In reality, that could be the motivation that you need, but it also discredits and impacts your overall confidence along the way. So it's important that as you have those role models or have people that you look forward to, that you're not putting them at such a high standard that you begin to feel, bad about yourself in the process. The third thing that I would say is negative thoughts are horrible. They are the worst thing on the planet of Earth, and I hate them. And the bad thing is that when you tend to have, low self-esteem, or someone who may be struggling with building their confidence, 9 times out of 10 you have those negative thoughts. But keep in mind, the insecurities that I'm referring to are kind of hand in hand with this. So negative thoughts will have you thinking that you ain't worth nothing. You will have yourself thinking that you can't do anything. You will tell yourself anything it takes that will discredit you, your growth, your worth, all those good things that you have. Your negative thoughts are so loud, and those things that you think can be so powerful. Our thoughts, our brain, our mindset, our perspectives all shape how we live our lives and what we do. Now, when you have a negative thought, you tend to think, okay, the worst, right? And not the best. But it's important to remember that negative thoughts are just that. Don't give them a louder voice than what they got, and try your best to reframe them. So just because you may have a negative thought that something comes to your mind, like, oh, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, whatever, instead of thinking that way, reverse it. Now that's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of consistency, a lot of habitual training for yourself. But every day you have to be intentional about what you say to yourself, what you think. And if you have those negative thoughts, which you will continue to have them, they won't go away. They'll still be a part of your life. They will just slowly get smaller and less loud, and quieter. Sorry, less loud. But it's important to know that, those things will have you start to think like, the minute you have a negative thought, you'll begin to think the worst thing possible, instead of thinking so positive, like, oh, like for instance, when I post a video on here, I automatically think like, it's gonna flop, it's not gonna be good, it's not gonna be good, it's not gonna be good. Instead of me changing that, I want to be more positive. I want to have a more positive perspective in my way, in my mind, kind of manifesting what I want the reality to be. So instead of me thinking like, oh, this video is gonna flop, I turn that around to say something different that I want to kind of encourage me and motivate me and help me kind of reframe that negative thought. Because you can honestly think so deeply and negatively about yourself, and I just try to think of it like inward versus outward. So if I have a negative thought, it tends to come inward. It tends to make me feel less good about myself. It tends to criticize me about my inner workings of myself. It tends to come, the bullet pretty much comes at me. That negative thought is the bullet. It comes to me, it shoots me down, and instead what I try to do is I try to have a bulletproof vest and block that motherfucking bullet and put that thing outward. So if it does bounce to me, I bounce it right back to someone else or something else that does not affect me personally. So I kind of think of negative thoughts as like, when it comes inward, because it will make you feel like, okay, this negative thought's coming to me, I suck, I'm not good enough, I'm this, I'm that. I bounce it back, and I try my best to like reflect and reframe that and have it bounce off of me instead of letting it pretty much shoot me, if that makes sense. So yeah. This is maybe for women, I don't know for men, but I know like, and I think it's for women and for men, but I'm gonna say like appearance is everything, right? So you hear sometimes like fake it till you make it, whatever, but when you literally look good, you feel good. Sis, I look good right now, okay? I feel amazing right now, okay? So give yourself the best chance that you have for your day. Put on something that makes you feel good. Do your hair that makes you feel good. Put on a little bit of lip gloss, a little lipstick, whatever the case may be, to make you feel good. And I know that might seem like it's such a minor thing, but it's so important because it gives you even a larger boost to your day, right? So our minds, the things that we do, life is hard, we go to work, whatever, you know, you might have health issues, you might have other things going on that really may bring you down. You may have mental health issues, physical issues, whatever the case may be, but literally something as small that you do have control over is just trying to up your appearance. Something that could really make you feel good about yourself, whether it's like a nice shirt that you wear, the style of the clothes that you buy, like getting your hair done. I know that's a big one. My sister is like a huge person of like, who cares about her hair so much? And I definitely understand that, because when your hair is not done, sis, like, let's be real. When your hair is not done, everything is just over. Like, just stop. Like, no. But I'm saying this to say that as we face like several different mental battles, just don't neglect your physical appearance, and definitely make that be something that boosts you. It's something that you do have control over, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. It doesn't have to be every day, but definitely prioritize it so that it can give you, you know, it gives you kind of like a spark to your day, and it makes you feel really good, and you continue to kind of work towards keeping yourself up physically as well as mentally, and they kind of go hand in hand and really, you know, they really support each other, and they definitely, you know, help make a difference. They have for me anyway. Are y'all drinking y'all wine? I think I need another glass. This is probably a given for you. Your self-esteem directly impacts your confidence. So how you feel about yourself, what your self-esteem is, and how you define it, whether it's low, medium, high, whatever, work in progress. The way you feel about yourself directly impacts your confidence. You cannot be expected to erase self-esteem and go directly to confidence. Like, those two they are simultaneous. They go hand in hand. They are inseparable. You cannot, you know, be confident and have no self-esteem. You can, but that will outpour and show in different ways. So to me, I feel like self-esteem is really important, because to me, that's how you feel about yourself, right? Like, how you talk to yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you care for yourself is so important. So it's important to recognize that until you take care of you and recognize who you see in the mirror, you will not be confident. So start with that. Figure out why you may have low self-esteem. Think forward to, you know, when did it start for you? What kind of things that you do that really make you see that you need work in that area? And try to think through it, because you really have to get down to the nitty-gritty to figure out like why you feel so poorly about yourself. Why do things come harder for you in that way? And once you can start to understand, like, okay, how I talk to myself impacts these things, you will learn different ways to be better, and you'll directly be able to kind of take care of your self-esteem. That then in correlation will impact your confidence. You'll be able to show things more easily. You'll be able to have your head held high versus low. You'll make eye contact. You'll do all the different things that really show that you're not intimidated by other people, what they may say, and that you really just feel good about who you are as a person. And that is extremely important. So please take time out to do the work for yourself. You know, for me, like I said at the start of this video, I'm still very much learning all these things. And I still have a very long way to go, but I will say that I am very aware of who I am, in the sense of what's the inner workings of me, like why I am this way. Like, I'm still working through a lot of it, but just like, that's something that's big for me, is just being aware, taking time out to think like, okay, why am I like this? Why do I do this? Why do I like this? Why do I hate this? Like, or why do I not like this thing about my body? Like, what, why, when did that start? Like, just ask yourself several different questions and really try to understand and think through it. And it may not come right away. You might just kind of have to keep pondering on it, but the more you kind of work through the self-esteem aspect is first, and then you will do certain things that you can directly do to improve your confidence. That's kind of like the second part of it. But the point of this tip, comment, whatever, is don't skip self-esteem. It's important. You got to get to the root of it before you can even think about being confident. This next part that I have in my handy dandy notebook that y'all can't see because it's mine, is be the person that you want to be, right? And that you idolize or that you may see in other people. So this kind of goes with point number 2, which was when I said don't idolize anyone, right? But what I mean by that is, if you see someone that looks how you want to look, talks how you want to talk, speaks how you want to speak, you know, whatever. Keep in mind, no one's perfect. It may on the outside looking in may look like it's gold, but in the inside, baby, you know, everything that glitter ain't gold, okay? I hope I got that saying right. But the point is that you shouldn't idolize anyone. Instead of doing that, be that person, right? So if you see someone who, so for me, let me use me as an example, because, you know, I can have this conversation with y'all. If I see someone, right, someone that I may see that really gets me going, that really makes me feel like, dang, that's who I want to be. That person is who I should become. Instead of me idolizing and wanting to be them, I need to want to be me, understand who I am, but you know, you can easily adopt some of those things that you see that other person doing. So if they work out, if that's an ambitious goal of yours, you can start to work out. If they do their makeup every day, do your makeup every day. If they keep their hair laid to the side, whatever, you know what you need to do. What? Keep your hair done. Like, literally use that as like the blueprint. Like, don't allow it to make you feel like you need to change who you are by any means. But if they are someone who you look or aspire to be, use it just as motivation. Don't make it more than that. Like, what you see is what you get. You should accept who you are as being beautifully made, which is like, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but just remember, like, you can use that as motivation. Don't want to be them. Just, you know, use what they do that you see that you may want to inherit for yourself, and do it. And then look at you being you while also doing those things that you may see other people do that you want to, you know, have a better life for yourself and slowly adopt for yourself. Like, for me specifically, like, I really want to go to the gym every day. Okay, if not every day, like 3 to 4 days. It really makes me feel good, but you know, we be going through things and every day you don't want to go to the gym. But that's something that would make me feel good, is being a gym girly, right? Feeling good about going to the gym, looking good when I'm at the gym. That's something I aspire to do. So I've tried buying new clothes from Amazon. Like, little things like that really make a difference. And just let people kind of show you what to do, and just use it in a more positive way versus trying to like idolize and say, oh, I wish I could be them. No, be yourself, but just, you know, if you like how they do stuff, so use it as ammo, adopt it slowly and kind of incorporate it into who you are, and see how that works out for you. Now this next one here, It says, and I quote, "No one trusts the lead of someone who is unsure of themselves or of a particular thing. Would you?" Now, I hope that's very self-explanatory, but if you are trying to be a leader, or if you are someone who you want others to look up to, whatever your goal or focus is, this kind of goes into like the confidence area that obviously trickles with self-esteem as well. If you yourself are not sure of you, why would I be sure of you? Why would anyone else be sure of you? Why would we trust you to lead us or get us there? We wouldn't. If you are like, I don't know, I think, I'm not sure, if those kind of things give it away to the point where you're not sure, I'm not gonna go behind you and trust that you know what you're talking about. So it's important that you know what you're talking about. Just trust yourself to be able to speak about something. Don't be unsure about things, or don't, you know, again, going back to number one, don't allow those insecurities to speak so loud about you that it impacts how other people respond to you. Now, you may not have a desire to be a leader or to be in front of the room. It's okay to fake it till you make it, but make sure that when you fake it until you make it, that it's actually believable. You know what I mean? Like, don't expect people to follow your lead if you are not someone who should be leading them, you know? Like, if you are not someone who is sure of themselves, or someone who is really trying to figure out, but you're trying to portray that you're not, and you're putting on this fake persona, like, all of that is very visible whether people say it or not, and you don't want to be that person. Like, you don't, like, at all. So don't do it. Just lead in the way that you believe. Hold your head high. Be confident in who you are. Trust yourself. Give yourself affirmations and positive self-talk, and just rock it out. Like, don't make it so loud and so clear that you don't trust yourself to lead someone else. Like, you have to trust you before someone else will trust you. I need a little bit more wine, girl. Let's pour up. I'm making a mess. I need more ice. Do y'all put ice in y'all wine? I do. I don't like no hot wine. When I be going to the winery, they be having hot wine. I don't be wanting no hot wine. Be more than one thing. You don't have to be one size fits all. So I learned that in therapy because, like, I personally had issues with, like, being able to see myself as an expert in a given thing while also making mistakes or learning through the way that I'm going. And when I did that, I think that it caused me to really feel like I couldn't speak so confidently about something because I made a mistake. And let's be clear here, everyone makes mistakes. You're going to continue to make mistakes no matter how confident or how sure of yourself that you are. You are not expected to be someone who is perfect, who makes no mistakes. Like, that is unrealistic, and get that thinking out of your head. Throw that away, get rid of it. It is not for you. No. What's for you is to know that you can be more than one thing. You can be an expert in something and qualify yourself or consider yourself as an expert while still making mistakes or still learning as you go. Because when you have that kind of, you know, observation or perspective of yourself, you can recognize that you don't have to have it all together to be able to speak surely about something. You can have it partially together and still be confident and still show up as a person that you want to be, because those things really help build out how you feel about yourself. So it's important to know that, because if you make yourself feel like, oh, I have to have it all together, I'm not good enough, whatever, those negative thoughts start to kind of trickle in. They're all connected. So remember, you are more than one thing. You're not just one size fits all. You are an expert working towards being even better. You are a work in progress. Like, do not be unrealistic with yourself and your expectations of yourself. This other one kind of piggybacks off the last one, which is the unrealistic expectations. If your expectations are ridiculously high or unrealistic, you are setting yourself up for failure. Let me say that one more time. If your expectations are extremely high, you are setting yourself up for failure. Now, take this from someone who has high standards of herself and of people around her. But understand that when you do that, standards are not a problem, expectations are not a problem, but what becomes an issue is that you put yourself at such a high standard. And that doesn't mean that you don't feel good about yourself, that you don't put yourself at a high pedestal, or that you don't think that you're worth a lot. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, don't make it so far and so high that you disappoint yourself, because that's a downward spiral. You would hypothetically say your expectation is to run 15 miles today. Say you don't run those 15 miles. That was unrealistic, at least for me. I'm not running those 15 miles. But it's an unrealistic expectation of something that you would want to do for yourself. So then say you don't meet that. Then what does that cause? Negative self-talk. And it's just a spiral. Those things are all connected, and they all add up to self-esteem, self-worth, confidence, positive self-talk, all those things. So if you have extreme high expectations of yourself, or if you hold yourself to an extremely high standard in that regard, just remind yourself that you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself that you don't accomplish things, because it's important to be able to celebrate your wins, to then be able to say, yeah, I did that, yeah, I feel good about this, yeah, I talk my shit, whatever the case may be, and feel good about yourself. Because when you celebrate successes and wins and things like that, that's positive reinforcement for you to know, okay, let me keep going. It's a driver for you, it's a motivator for you, it's all those positive things that we want to do more of. So if you have it extremely high where you can't meet it, that's not going to do what we want more of. It's going to do the opposite of that. This last one, well, we got two more, but this next one is fire. Worry less about what people have to say about you and more about what you say about yourself, or what you say to yourself. Now tell me that ain't a gem. I'm on here spitting tonight, okay? But seriously, so take this as someone who very much had been a stickler, worrying so much about what people say about me or whatever. When you worry so much about what other people got to say, you don't even care about what you got to say about yourself, because you give their voice more power over yours. Now, keep it cute here. This is obviously for people who struggle with this. Now, if you are someone who constantly thinks about what people are going to say, and I know that that's a common denominator problem for all of us, but that's not what we on getting out of that, right? So if you worry so much about what other people say, you distract yourself and don't worry enough about what you say to you. So that's why you're not focusing on that positive self-talk that we talked about, because you're so worried about what outside opinions will have of you. And people are going to talk. They're going to do it. There's no way around it. You can't prevent it. You can't stop it. And they're not going to stop. They're going to keep talking their shit. But guess what? You talk your shit in a positive way to yourself, so that when they talk their shit, sis, you don't got to worry about it, because you know who you are. You have that positive self-talk to yourself, and your voice is the most powerful voice that you ever had. So use it. Use it for good. People are going to talk enough bad about you. So don't be one of those people that also talks bad about yourself. Like, be aware, don't be defensive, reflect, and all that good stuff. But you are on your team, so be on your team. Talk good to yourself, love yourself, show yourself that you care about yourself. There are going to be people out here who don't get you, who won't want to get you, whatever the case may be. And that's okay. You are you, and love yourself, because other people may not. They may not cheer you on. They may not love and care for you, whatever the case may be. But what you think about yourself, you create. So if you let those outside opinions come in and let them dictate what you think and feel about yourself, then you've lost. And you don't want to lose. You want to be a winner. You want to win for yourself and cheer yourself on. So don't let those thoughts create negative thoughts in your head. We have enough of those on our own that we're trying to reframe. Don't let those outside opinions get to you. Don't. Those people don't matter to you. Those, even if they are someone who matters to you, Do not let them get to you. You can consider their thoughts, their conversations, what they want to tell you, but you have to be the one to weigh and discern and say, okay, are they right? Are they wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? And then once you make that observation and evaluation for yourself, yeah, you can either cancel it and, you know, silence the noise because you know that they're not speaking right and speaking facts. Or you can be like, okay, maybe they made a point, but I still feel good about myself. I'm not gonna feel bad about myself because they made this comment. Your voice is the most powerful voice that you should listen to. Don't let those outside opinions, comments, whatever, get to you. Don't. They don't matter. Don't worry about it. You is what matters. So worry about you and nothing else. Okay, so we're down to the last one. This is a bonus tip for those who may have stayed and stuck around to listen. Thank you so much. The last one is just something that I try to tell myself all the time. And it kind of goes with the overall theme of this whole video, of course. And it's really, really important to me. But it is simply that I am beautifully made as I am. So that means that I don't want to be nobody else. I want to be Tynisha just as she is today. I'm going to continue to evolve. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to have breakdowns. I'm going to have bad days. But the point is that I am beautifully made as I am. God made me. He handpicked me to be me. My soul is mine, right? No one else, and I mean no one, not one other soul person, it does not matter, is me. We might have soulmates, we might have people who are close and near and dear to us, we might have people who look better than us or that we want to be more like, but your superpower is knowing that you are beautifully made just for you. So when you get into the mindset of, oh, so-and-so looks better than me, oh, so-and-so did this better than me, oh, I want to be better at this, I'm just not where I want to be, like, oh, I'm just still, whatever. Remember, if you don't remember nothing else from this video today, you were beautifully made. You are beautifully made. And as you continue to work through these things for yourself, and as you continue to grow and evolve and all that good stuff that I'm on right now, which is my motto, period, I still have to celebrate who I am today. I am a beautifully made woman. I am someone who has a big heart, who loves deeply, and I am very smart. I am intelligent. I look good, okay? Like, the list goes on. And when you start to see yourself in that light and you start to feel that way, you good. Keep it up. Affirmations help, things like that help, but just simply thinking like, I am one of one, I am one of a kind, I am beautifully made as I am. No one else is me, and that is your superpower. That is your strength. That is something to feel very great about. Be cocky, have that chip on your shoulder. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do to remind yourself that you are beautifully made as you are, and as you continue to evolve, you're going to get even better. But remind yourself of that when you start to compare, when you start to think wild shit that we all do. Remember, you are you. No one else can be you. Period. Now, that is a wrap, okay? I know I was on here spitting, and I hope that y'all got these gems and it was really helpful for y'all. But seriously, I really had a good time making this video. I hope that this video helps y'all. It definitely helps me talking about it. And like I said, I am not a professional. I'm just telling y'all my experiences and things and observations and awareness that I have gathered over my healing journey. I'm still, again, very much on this journey. Don't get it twisted. But I am very far compared to where I was, and that I am very proud of. These are the things that work for me. I hope that it helps you. And don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any other comments or tips that you would like to share with the rest of us. And yeah, let's meet back here next time. Don't forget to subscribe, sis. We love you. Don't forget to comment, like, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram at the Tynisha Brianna. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Pinterest too. But you know, I don't really be on Pinterest. But if y'all follow me, I'll be on there. So go show some love. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.